everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Pulse. This is a puzzle platformer in a way that is kind of unlike any puzzle platform I've played before. If you're not familiar with this, it's been there's been a prototype for a while, a demo if you will, that's been making the rounds for at least about, 6 months to a year or something like that. I know I became familiar with it when my buddy Josh, JSmithOTI, played a little bit of the game on his channel. He did a quick look of it, similar to what I'm going to be doing here, but actually these guys are now doing a Kickstarter to get a final version of the game actually put out at some point, so I decided now was the time for me to take a look at it. In any case, we're going to play it here. This is the prototype version of the game. Why don't we just check out level 1 here? I've played about 45 minutes of this so far, and I don't want to give away the gimmick just yet. I'd rather do it once we actually get into the interface here, so you can get more of a feel for exactly how things work. So basically, the way that Pulse works, or the gimmick of Pulse, is that we are mostly blind, or at the very least we might be 100% blind, but we haven't been blind since birth. So we actually have the ability to kind of like remember our surroundings from our childhood. Okay, so we're fairly early on in the game here. I remember how this works. We're gonna see basically through echolocation, so we're gonna be picking up these kind of cute little Furby-like creatures here and throwing them against the wall. And in doing so, they will kind of create sound waves, and we're going to interpret those sound waves to kind of create a visual representation of the world around us, which is kind of neat. I've never seen a game like this before. It actually might have been longer than a year since I've kind of become familiar with this game. But in any case, like I said, I played about 45 minutes of this so far. If we play like 15 or 20 minutes here, I think we'll get a pretty good idea of the kind of puzzles that you can see in this game. So there's going to be switches galore, as well as like conveyor belts or hamster wheels like this that are going to allow us to progress. And basically, all of the puzzles are going to involve essentially, at least so far, hitting switches to create platforms for us to jump around. So it's kind of wrote a little bit, derivative in that sense perhaps, but the gimmick itself is so unique that it kind of allows it to stand on its own 2 feet regardless. So as you can see, by stepping on this switch, we create kind of a path that we can take through here. This is going to become more difficult as things go, but as we get started here, it's going to keep... Oh god, I didn't realize that it was... Okay, we got lucky there. That will become harder in the future. So in the, I didn't realize that the prototype was actually so short. In the 45 minutes that I played, I didn't realize that I was probably actually like 75% of the way done the prototype, but there is a free version of the prototype available for those of you who are interested in checking it out. And I strongly encourage you to do so, because some of the stuff that gets later in the game, from my standpoint at least, from someone who's awful at video games, it becomes pretty goddamn difficult. So I believe this is going to be the end of the first level here, and we will probably just load into the second level. So each level, once you actually figure out how to do it, is pretty quick. But remember, this is just a proof of concept. So let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter as we move forward here. This seems a little scary to me. Throw the Furby into the mouth of the beast. Okay. I don't think that's what I want to do, because we don't have an unlimited inventory of these guys. We kind of got to find them in the environment. But this might be where we get introduced to the big bad of this level, or of this game, I should say. So yeah, like I said, let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter. So these guys are trying to... Ooh, back up a little bit. There's the wolf right there. We want to stay away from him. Originally, these guys were students at the Vancouver Film School, and they built this game as kind of a student project, as far as I know. But now that they are out of school, they're trying to release this as a full product. So they need actually to raise a lot of money for a couple of reasons. One of them is that they built this game entirely using educational software licenses. So I'm not sure how much, the Unity actually costs, because this is built in Unity, if you're not a student. But they need to, legally do that if they're ever to offer the game for a retail release. Oh god, one of my things got eaten, and you can see its cute little ribcage and skull there. As disgusting as that is. They're also trying to just flesh out the game, because like I said, it's incredibly short in its current state, but again, it is just a proof of concept. Let's try to... Oh, god damn it! These guys are so cute when they get scared. Also, sometimes their eyes look a little bit like rotten Swiss cheese when they're open, but that's okay. I've just got to get straight through here, and it shouldn't be too difficult. I've just got to kind of watch this guy's patterns. Remember, you might be saying, like, why can we see so much right now? It's because every sound allows us to kind of visually interpret that, or interpret that in a visual way. So every time this wolf kind of moves around, oh my god. I didn't realize, he must be able to smell me or hear me or something. But yeah, every time this wolf moves around, we're going to be able to kind of get a visual representation of our surroundings based on his footsteps. So he should be making kind of like a circuitous path here, which will allow... Oh, no, he's coming right for me. Let's throw one of these at him and possibly give him a second. to have a diversion. And let's throw some of these down and figure out the correct way to go. As our screen, the colors on our screen change, usually that implies that things are becoming more and more urgent. I think we want to go straight ahead here. Oh, I see the wolf behind us. Just keep running. And we get into this tiny area. The wolf cannot follow us. Okay. That was surprisingly tricky. Actually, this is something I've never seen before, actually. We picked up a piece of Tahu's necklace. The actual kind of concept of the game... what am I supposed to do now? I get it. It's a piece of Tahu's necklace. Can I... Okay, I don't want to go back to the main menu. There we go. Okay. That was weird. Yeah, but I guess that's a collectible. I've never gotten that before. So this is actually not where we want to be in our final state. But for now, I'm happy that we've kind of gotten a re-up on our inventory of these cute little creatures. In the meantime, though, obviously that wolf is kind of on to me. If he eats us, if he attacks us, we'll take damage. And if he attacks us twice in quick succession, we will die, as I have done many a time so far. So I'm just hoping that this is the correct way to go. We're gonna sprint now, or forever hold your peace. Oh god, I can fit down. Oh, this is not where I want to be. I didn't realize there was a second wolf. In true JFK fashion, where am I supposed to go? This seems like the right way. Unless this is the bridge I came in on. Oh my god. I didn't realize accidentally these guys were like cute incarnations of the Romanian gymnastics team or something. I just fell off the edge because I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Is this where we started? Or is this... I think this is a new area that we're supposed to go to. The way that I could most easily describe this game to a lot of you is that it kind of reminds me of playing the Crystal Caverns in Dark Souls, only like having unlimited numbers of those colored stones that you can drop to kind of, you know, be able to find the invisible paths. Let's go up here. So, you know, when you first started playing this game, or at least when I first started playing this game, I found it incredibly frustrating because there's something to be said about a game that has drops in fairly frequent locations, but doesn't allow you to easily see where you're going. But then you realize that you've got to be a little bit more patient when you're playing this game than when you're playing, you know, your standard platformer, as you might expect considering you can't see. Now, there are kind of environmental elements like this bell. Now, if we hit this, we should get a huge kind of visual representation of what's going on. Maybe not? Maybe I have to hit it on the underside. Well, we can see all these kind of like weird stalagmite creatures here in the caves, but in any case, let's continue moving forwards. And we're going to be introduced to a new kind of puzzle mechanic here. Again, crates and switches are going to be a big deal. I'm just trying to look around for a second. Where is this the button? This is the button, okay. So these big like Snorlax type Furbies, we can click on them and actually roll them, and they're basically gonna be like the standard physics-based puzzle platformer version of a boulder that we can just stack on top of this switch and then move onwards. And this is gonna be kind of the defining... Oh, it's telling us to go the other way, which to me means secrets in this area. Maybe not, okay. But yeah, for the next few puzzles, we're just gonna be rolling these guys onto switches. But it's more difficult than it sounds, or I should say more challenging than it sounds, because normally, you know, it feels kind of old hat, I guess, in a puzzle platformer, to be stuck kind of just like rolling these guys around, or rolling boulders around to put on switches. But in this game, it feels a little bit more challenging because basically we can't see where we're supposed to be going. Alright, so I think there's a wolf over there. I hope I explained that right. Basically, Cliff Notes, it feels different to be doing switch puzzles in this game because we don't really know what the switches open until we have a full visual representation of the area, as opposed to most puzzle platformer games where you're like, oh, switch, put the boulder on the switch, the door opens, I walk to it. There's a little bit more of a kind of roundabout process in this game where you're actually trying to find out where the heck to go. Okay, so we're just gonna sprint into this tiny area here because the wolf will not be able to get us when we're inside, I think. At least my general escape pattern has been to get in these kind of like narrow hallways or you know, alleys so that the douchebag wolf cannot get to me. So here's our switch. The thing is, we don't know what this opens yet. I guess I do know what it opens because I played this before. It opens like this door back here, I believe. So what we have to do is get this Furby. I can't really zoom in. I was trying to look down the iron sights of my Furby here. But we gotta get this big circular Snorlax type Furby. Now let's just be careful here for a second. I should just be able to sprint and make it. No, he can see me. Oh god, run. Run, run. I don't think he can follow us in here. So we are safe. Again, I love this little cute animal pyramid that's following me around. But then we're gonna roll this guy onto the switch and we should be able to make our way into the next area. So let's roll this around. Great sound design as well, which is another thing. Especially, we might take like a wooden elevator. I really like the sound on the wooden elevator we'll be taking. That's another thing they mentioned on their Kickstarter page as needing funding for is, you know, they had access, again, when you're in university or college, you have access to all these like laboratories, basically, or, you know, like this great infrastructure for building things. But once you're out on your own, unfortunately, that stuff actually costs money. So we do have this guy on the Switch now. And I believe our escape route is actually just back here, as you can see. If you look around quickly enough, oftentimes it's easy-ish to kind of see where things open because, you know, the switches, when they open doors, those doors do make noises that allow you to kind of, again, visually represent them in the environment. But we're probably going to do another puzzle or two over the course of this. You just got to walk into the invisible wall so we can load into the next area. And I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but basically the premise of the story is we're in some unknown part of the world, some unknown culture where children have to go through a rite of passage, I guess, to become adults, or, you know, boys have to go through a rite of passage to become men. We don't know what gender our child is, but that's just my assumption. And our brother had to take the rite of passage for us as we are blind. However, it's been several hours or several days and our brother has not returned yet, so we are now trying to find him ourselves so that we can, you know, save our family. It's a little bit, I don't want to say superficial at this point, but it's not really all that fleshed out, which is kind of to be expected again, considering this is just a okay, we're still alive. Fall damage, I think, can hurt us sometimes. We found another piece of Tahu's necklace. This is a dangerous path. I need to find him quickly. Okay, so we'll escape and then go back, which apparently is all we need to do to make that work for us. Sometimes you know, as someone who doesn't have the greatest spatial awareness in the first place, sometimes this game can be really difficult for me to try to find my way around, and if I get lost for like 2 minutes, God help me, because I will be lost for, you know, 20 minutes afterwards just trying to find my way back to the original path. It's worse in this game than it is in a lot of games, obviously, because, you know, a lot of the time you are, oh, Jesus Christ, a lot of the time you are dealing with pure darkness. But, you know, for all the conceit of the gimmick in this game, it is very much just a traditional kind of 3D platformer, only with puzzle elements included. And it plays well, like, considering this is a student prototype, it's very well accomplished. It's absolutely playable in its current state. It's a little short, as mentioned. We do have a jump. There we go, managed to make that one work. It's a little short, you know, the prototype, especially if you're good at these kinds of games, is probably going to take you, you know, oh, God, we're going to fall to our death. Not much longer than an hour, I think. If even that. We're gonna come back here and hopefully that awful white noise will stop. But yeah, I definitely encourage you guys to, at the very least, check out the prototype. I realize, you know, when we're talking about Kickstarter games, this is the kind of game that is not for absolutely everyone. And their Kickstarter goal, you know, I'll admit, is a little bit lofty, but, you know, games cost more than most people care to think about sometimes. I swear to God, I can make this jump. Sometimes, when it comes to 3D platformers, my mechanics or my skills are not the strongest. We'll try a little bit more closely this time. But yeah, to be more specific, the funding goal for this is $75,000. The Kickstarter is basically just started. They have 11,000 so far. And again, you know, the purpose of that kind of lofty funding goal is to expand this into a more kind of robust game. Please tell me, oh Jesus Christ. I don't even think I took this path my first time through. I'm not sure if this is like the optional challenging path or something. Let's just hold off for a second and take a look around, because I want to get over there. That is, I believe, our best course of action. But is this just a dead end? I don't think so. And of course, immediately after saying I don't think so, it is. Sadly, we are tossing many Furbies to their deaths. Yeah, the purpose of the funding is to, you know, make the game more robust, a little bit longer, and probably more accomplished, as well as to, you know, pay for those professional software licenses, which can be expensive, although I don't exactly know the specifics of that, and, you know, get access to professional kind of recording infrastructure, or laboratories, facilities, if you will. Now, dare I try this for like the 20th time? Sometimes a major complaint is that these Furbies seem to refuse to follow me, so you have to go back and pick them up. They try sometimes, but they don't always make it. I guess what we could do is just kind of like jump. That'll create some sound waves. So as long as we go real slowly, we can jump and see where we're supposed to be. Okay, so we've made this one, finally. And we're still alive. We do sound like a young boy, which to me indicates that we are, you know, on our rite of passage to become a man, if you will. Now, I would absolutely love for there to be another Furby chasing me right here, because I don't know where to go next. I'm pretty sure maybe we just fall off of here. It's gonna hurt our knees, but at the very least, we've come across a switch. Now I just need one Furby, please. Any Furby will do, because I need to hit this switch, and then you will hear the glorious wooden elevator sound. See, doesn't this seem like a much easier path? I'm not even sure I had to take that kind of weird jumping puzzle route to get here. And this is one of the more challenging puzzles in the game. At least we're about to encounter one of the more challenging puzzles in the game. So let's come up here. Don't lose this Furby. Just make some jumps. Take things very slowly. Again, Crystal Caverns in Dark Souls. Like so. Okay, so we're gonna stand on this elevator, throw this Furby into the switch. I would love him to take this ride with me, but I think we're gonna get more later. I really love the wooden elevator sound here. I'm not sure if that's Foleyed or what, but well, I assume it is, because they probably didn't, you know, have access to their own wooden elevator. So this is, I'll probably do at least half of this puzzle. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the whole thing, because for me, this has kind of been the showpiece puzzle so far, the one that's been most difficult. But I'll explain what's going on. Basically, without going too roundabout, what we want to do here is create as many platforms as possible, which is going to require hitting like 15 switches. In actuality, you can see it over there actually, or you could for a brief second. In actuality, there's only like 5 or 6 switches, but what's really cool about this one is that it introduces us to this concept of getting like a broad visual representation of a level by way of a giant sound. In a way, stuff like this kind of reminds me of, you know, the way Mark of the Ninja deals with sound. So now we can see that there's a switch over here. If we hit it again, there's a switch over there. You can't really see it. But we're going to kind of get a feel for where all these switches are. Obviously, the wolf is going to be an ever-present problem here. But this is going to allow us to basically... Let's see if we can get a second Furby with us. Should probably stop calling them Furbies. I'm pretty sure that's still trademarked, even if those things aren't popular anymore. Is this guy on the outside? I can't tell. I think he is. Okay, so let's come back down into Furby heaven here. Nothing around us, I guess. There we go. So we got a second one, at the very least following us. Sometimes they suck at getting up the staircase, though. So we're going to run up the staircase. Again, I never realized on my first attempts at this puzzle how useful jumping can actually be. Let's come up here. Is this guy near us? Yeah, we can go down and get him in a second. So we're going to hit this. That's going to give us a visual representation of where these switches are. Obviously, the wolf is onto us, which is not good. But we're just going to jump off here and try to find the switch again. It's got to, I think it's somewhere over here. We've got to find it fairly quickly. There it is. Otherwise, we're going to get eaten. But there we go. So we've hit a second platform. Oh! He's right on top of me. Was he not? Oh, he is. He's eating all my Furbies. Run. Get back into the safety of the Furby prison. Okay, good. Well, yes, now we are inside. Again, sometimes I find the game a little visually confusing, but I think that's, like, entirely intentional, given the nature of the game. Let's come up here, and we'll go to the right side. And these guys are going to, again, mostly follow us up. So we're going to hit this. Oh, that was abysmal, but luckily it didn't fall off. We're going to hit this. Where is the switch? There's one all the way over there. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm just going to make a mental note of that. And then let's pick up these. The wolf is also sort of over there. We should be able to see him from up here. Yeah, he's like right there. Right next to the switch, basically. So let's be a little cautious. And by a little cautious, I mean immediately fall off the edge right beside him. This is okay, though. He can't hear us as long as we stay far away. The thing is, these cute little Furby dudes make so much noise when you throw them. It's right here. Okay, now we run. And that actually might be enough for us to get across now. You can sort of see... Oh, God, he's coming this way. Turn around. I don't know why I did that. Oh, God, to the tune of Total Eclipse of the Heart. Okay. So now we can just kind of make a break for it, and by sprinting, we should be able to get away. It's kind of, again, a little bit derivative to talk about this at this point, but it does have elements of amnesia, the way that we have this, like, monster that we basically have no way of Like, we have no defense against this monster except running away. Oh god, he's gonna eat us a little bit. It's okay, just run. We probably have enough to get across the edge now. Oh, maybe we're one platform short. Well, we should be able to make this jump. Well, we did, actually. Can't really see where we're going, but that is going to be the end of that puzzle. That puzzle took me a long time to figure out for kind of embarrassing reasons, I guess. But in any case, that's going to be the end of that, and that is going to be the end of my Let's Look At of Puzzle. Again, this is a free prototype that is available for downloading from the link that I'm going to put in the video description below. That link is also going to double as a redirect to their Kickstarter page, so if you're interested in pledging, I'm not 100% sure of the pledges at the higher levels, but I know that $1 gets you your name in the credits, as is kind of standard for Kickstarter. $10 gets you a pre-order of the final game, but they have no release date yet. Basically, they've got kind of like a Valve style, you know, it'll ship when it's done. In any case, as always, thank you guys for watching. I encourage you to check out the prototype for that, even if you're not interested in contributing to the Kickstarter. But if you are interested in contributing to the Kickstarter, they have a long way to go, but also nearly a month left, I think. They've got at least like 20, 25 days. But in any case, the links will be in the video description below, and I encourage you to check those out. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.